Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to my home in Darlingford, Manitoba. So wonderful to be back with you from the Safe at Home program. And we're going to pick up today. I was thinking that it would be great to make some Appies. It's summertime, sitting out and with either barbecue time or Appies, having some cold lemonade or other refreshments. I know it's not so easy that we can have our friends over, but we can sure treat ourselves and our family. So when we're able to all get together again, or like I said, for your family in the backyard or wherever, going to a park, we're going to start off by making my crab pinwheels. And I'm going to use tortillas. I always try to keep some of those around. So we have 8 ounces of cream cheese we put in there and bring it to room temperature so you can mix it very easily. Then we're going to use our canned crab. If you have fresh, by all means use it, but I always try to keep a couple of these in the cupboard. You can make all sorts of things with them. Then we've got some dill, some fresh chopped dill. I'm putting that in, and some green onions. I'd say 3 or 4 green onions. You just slice it on the diagonal. It brings out the flavor more. And then some chopped parsley, 1/4 cup of fresh chopped parsley. Some lemon juice, fresh lemon juice, I did 1/4 one, and about 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, and I would do a good tablespoon of Frank's red hot sauce, put that in there, and then 3/4 teaspoon of onion powder and 3/4 teaspoon of chili powder. So now, and then 1 cup, of shredded cheese. I prefer an aged cheese, so I've used old cheddar. And now we're going to mix it all up and incorporate all the good, great flavors. And I'm just going to show you how it's looking here. And mix it till it's a real nice consistency that we're going to spread on these tortilla shells. So we're just going to open these up. And this should make at least 5 or 6 of them. So we'll just take this out. And we're going to make a couple of these. They're so delicious. And of course, I love seafood, but I don't think it's too strong of a flavor, and even the kids like this. I've had kids over and they've always loved it. So, now I take about, maybe that's probably 1/4 cup or so, and just spread it nicely. Maybe a little more. You can tell when you get to the edges and you want to even it out. Okay, so it looks like that. Very pretty colors and flavors and very yummy for your tummy. And it just goes so well with so many different things. And then we're just going to spread that. Then after we've done them, you can finish the other ones. I'll show you. It's best to refrigerate these or cool them down a little bit. So I just fold it in. And then wrap tightly, right? Okay, if you get a little too much, you just bring it in a little bit. There we go, and we seal it. And the same thing, fold it in, pick it up, and tightly roll up. Then what I do at this point is I take some saran wrap, and I wrap them, right? Wrap them nice and tight, so that the shell doesn't dry out, and then we can chill them. I like to chill them for an hour, at least an hour. If you have to do something quicker, you can pop them in the freezer for like 20 minutes too. So I'm just going to take these now, and I'm going to pop them in, and I'll be right back with you, and we'll go on to the next one. This would be a lot of fun. Like I said, I had some leftover baked potatoes, but you can certainly bake them up fresh. and I'm going to make our version of some potato skins. So I've got 2 here, and I've got my spoon. And what I do is just cut them down the center, like the lengthwise, and scoop out some of the potato. Leave yourself a nice edge, right? Because you want some of the potato to be there, but you want to be able to fill it so it has like a little hole like that, right? So, and I just nicely have to, you know, you can use a smaller spoon, whatever. There you go, and nice, and get them nice and ready. And I just, yeah, I thought, I love potato skins. I prefer to bake them now, not deep fry them. I just think they taste nicer if you bake them. They kind of, I don't know, it's crispier or something, or roasted, or the flavor of it. So now we've taken that out. So we have those. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this that you have here, chop that up. Right. You won't need to use all of it, but you can use some. And we have a little bit of onion powder here. And we need cheese. Cheese is a good thing. You have to have cheese. I think I'm going to use the pizza cheese. It's really creamy, nice and creamy. And we've got cheddar in the other thing. So now we're going to shred some of this cheese. Break a bit off there. Shred. I use this shredder constantly. Always have people go, why don't you just get one of those electric ones? Oh, I like doing it by hand. I think it's just better. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to put a little bit of these chopped potatoes just in there, just a little bit, just to fill it a little bit. And just a few pieces. There we go. And then we're going to use, again, some of the chopped fresh dill. Very nice, beautiful flavors. Just a sprinkle on each one. Okay, and then some of the cheese. We'll put we want a good amount of cheese in there. Kind of top it like nice, because it'll melt in really good. Kind of push it down a little bit, like so. Right, we'll just put the rest. I don't think you can ever have too much cheese. Then I put some green onions, just a little bit of green onion on each one as well, just a sprinkle. And finally, we're going to top it off with some bacon bits that I've fried up already. So we'll just pick that. Oh, I should bring my pan over. And we'll just put this here, them on. Another little tip, if you like, you can cut the bottoms of these off so that they just sit perfectly still. These ones aren't too bad, but some potatoes, you'd have to cut them. So then we're going to put in some bacon bits. This one doesn't want to cooperate as much. And there we go. And even some of the little bit of this bacon grease, I'm just going to drizzle it a little bit over. See, just a few drops, you know. It'll give you a great flavor. Now we're going to pop these, pepper. Gotta have some pepper and salt. And a little bit of onion powder, just a sprinkle, and garlic. Almost forgot my spices. And then a sprinkle of garlic, and away we go in the oven. And I would say, if you bake these till the cheese melts, because remember, the potatoes are already cooked. It's just a matter of heating everything through and the cheese nicely melted. So I am going to take this bottom off because it's just going to keep falling over. And that's no good. So, there we go. Cooperation is the key. Okay, in we go, potatoes. Good. It's probably about 15, 17 minutes and they'll do that. So, oh, I forgot about the water, didn't I? Okay, so now we've got those in and we've got our crab pinwheels chilling. Let's go to something else. To make a quick version of guacamole. Everybody has their favorite ways of doing things, and different recipes are passed on from one another, or places and experiences they've been to. I just like to make, I love avocados, so I make just a quick version. And like I said, somebody just dropped in. You want to quickly put something together. You usually have chips around, so you want to make some nice fresh guacamole to go with it. And I usually make salsa. I have it frozen or canned depending on what I'm doing. Sometimes I can it, sometimes I freeze it. So I'm just cut the avocado in half, take a spoon, go around, bring it out, remove the pit. Come on, there we go. And again, just around, so whoopsie. And I've got one that I'd opened up this morning, so I'll use that up as well. I quite often eat avocados for breakfast. Love avocados. Then I take a fork and I mash it. I just simply mash it. You break it all up nicely, mash it up, it comes quick, and then get some liquid in there, half a lemon. Squeeze it in, get all the good juices. Oh, one seed there, I thought I got them all out. Then you mash it all. Now you've got some more liquid, it's a little bit easier to mash. This tastes just like this. Is this beautiful? Fresh, very fresh tasting. Okay, and just mash, mash, mash away. One of these ones a little bit harder, so it takes a little bit longer to mash it, but the lemon juice, the acidity is just working its way through there. And we're gonna mash, mash, mash. Now, you can add pepper, probably a 3/4 or half teaspoon, some salt, maybe only about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, some garlic. Back to the garlic. You can use fresh garlic too. It's great to use fresh garlic, but keep in mind you don't need much because it's avocados are, they really absorb the flavor. So I'm just going to use some the dried and some green onions. Probably 1 green onion chopped or 2, depending on your like. Mix that up again. Now, here we go. How's that looking? Pretty nice. So, what we'll because now we can chill that too. It's always better if it's chilled a bit. You want to start off with room temperature soft, but now we'll put it in the fridge to chill up a little bit. So, we're getting all our goodies ready. Now we'll just put that in the fridge. Well, our potatoes are all ready. They're nice and cheese melted and bacon crispy. We'll just put them over here for a few minutes. And just before I go on to the herb deviled eggs, I just wanted to say this is my pickled asparagus. And stay tuned for a later date when I'm going to show you how to make pickled asparagus, pickled beets, jams and jellies, chutneys, all sorts of different lovely things after we're harvesting from our garden. So do please stay tuned for that. And if you have any special requests or ideas or thoughts, feel free to give me a call or go on my website. That'd be fantastic. Thanks. we're going to do is I've boiled some eggs, so we're going to make some fresh herbs and some stuffed eggs. Most, especially men, like stuffed eggs. And you always usually have eggs at home, and it's good protein. I know lots of kids love them too. And if you even have leftover, you just mash them up and make a sandwich. So here we go. I always like to cut them lengthwise. Some people cut them in half. I prefer cutting them lengthwise. So cut those. Nice clean cuts. And then, again, we're going to be mashing. We're doing a lot of mashing today. And we're going to put them in the bowl here. So I just take, oh, that's a fork. I don't want a fork. I want a spoon. So we just carefully, and then they're nice and clean. Pop those out. And I've got fresh dill and fresh parsley and, of course, green onions that we're going to put in there. And you can decorate it with all sorts of things. Sometimes I do like pipe them. After I mash it, I'll pipe it in. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to mash it and put it in. Because we're kind of a little bit with time that somebody dropped in, or we've improv little get together outside, or with the family's hungry and mom's making a bunch of snacks. And it's fun. The kids can help out too. They can make skewers. You can toast tortillas with a nice cinnamon sugar and chop up some fruit and have fruit salsa with those. That's delicious, and kids love that. You can always have some of that too. So we're going to put some pepper and some salt. Not too much salt, because you're going to use mayo too, or Miracle Whip, and that has salt in it as well. So then we've got our fresh dill, nice and finely chopped, and our green onions. Okay, and our parsley. There we go. Now we're going to put some, I would say a good tablespoon, start off with that, a good tablespoon of the Miracle Whip, and then mash it all up nicely. And another nice little thing I like to put in is just a touch of mustard. This one, it's a new one out, it's a barbecue one. It's really, really flavorful. Highly recommend it. So I'd say just a little, squirt in there. Gives it a little bit of color and lovely flavor. Mashing that up nice. Gotta get out all the lumps and bumps, right? And some people, like I said, they like to do thin strips of red pepper or black olives or parsley, or anything you can, paprika, you can put anything on top. Today, I'm going to put some red pepper flakes. I think it gives it a nice little zest, especially if you're having a glass of wine or beer. It goes very nice with it. Okay, or in the kids' case, lemonade or Kool-Aid. Okay, so now we're going to fill these. So I just take a bit and put it in there. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because you're going to dress it anyways after. So I'm just going to put some of these on a plate here for now, and after we're going to tray up some trays. So we filled all our eggs now, as you can see. I hope you can see them nicely. So now I'm going to take some of these red pepper flakes and just sprinkle nicely. See, just a little bit of color and a little bit of flavor. And to me, it just stands out nicely. So, and a little bit of pepper. Gotta have little bits of color here, right? Visual is as very important as well as the taste of it. Visual, your eyes are drinking and tasting that in as well. So there we go. They look quite yummy, quite nice. So now we're just going to go on to do our Asian wraps. I've been so excited to share this with you. It's a wonderful, wonderful recipe. And wonderful thing to have ready at any time for the kids' lunch, for your lunch. It's just perfect. So I use rice noodles in them. So these are the rice noodles I've chosen, but there's many varieties. And what I do is I boil the water, put it in, and then just let it sit. Make sure it's all immersed in there. Then you just drain it off, and you've got your noodles there. Then we need our rice wraps. So I picked these ones up. They're very good. Worked with them several times now. So we'll open this up. And important to have warm. Not hot, but warm or hot, or hot or warm. You do want to have for the rice wrap to soften nicely, and for when it sets for after. It's really important to wet the wrap nicely. And we have all beautiful vegetables we're going to put in this. So here's a real nice display of vegetables. I've got English cucumbers, green onions, everything's nice and ribbons and stuff. I've got celery, I've got red pepper, I've got carrots, I've got cilantro. And some people don't like cilantro, so you can put basil and you can put mint in too. I've done that. And then you can use butter lettuce, you can use romaine. I personally like the romaine. I think it just has more crunch and it holds everything nicely. So we're going to this is our rice wrap, what it looks like. It's hard. So we're going to put that in the water. Let it sit there for a minute. And then we're going to pull it out. And I'm going to take a lettuce leaf. Put that there, and then I'm going to do a collection of veggies. So a couple of peppers and a few carrots, a couple pieces of celery. I think I need this closer. Some cucumbers, a little bit of spring onion, and I make like a little bundle. Kind of even it off like that and pop it right in there. And then some of your rice noodles, same thing. Pop it nicely in there. Then we're going to pull it towards the end of the wrap, fold that over, one side, the other side, and roll tightly. There it is. And then we're going to just place it here. You just let them sit. They're beautiful, they're healthy, they're gluten-free, they're vegetarian, they're vegan. Everybody's happy. Everybody's a happy camper with them. And then I make a beautiful peanut sauce to go with it, and you dip that, well, just tasty and delicious, and very low calorie too. So, there we go again. We've got our lettuce leaf, we put that there. And if you find that it's a bit, you can just kind of break it a little bit, and it just sits nicer. Okay, so a couple of pieces of pepper, and a couple of celery, and a couple of cucumber, a few carrots, some spring onions, and I forgot my cilantro on the last one, so this time I'll put my cilantro in. You don't have to put in if you don't want, but I really love it. It just gives it a nice freshness. Bring it over to the edge. Noodles. Noodles. Almost forgot my noodles. I have lots of things to do. So then we're going to bring this over. Careful not to tear it. Fold on this side. Fold on this side. And wrap nice and tight. If you've had lots of experience as I've had with cabbage rolls, you know the wrapping. There we go. And they're coming along. See, your most amount of time spent is prep with all of this, because you've got to prep your vegetables and julienne them and slice them and dice them in whatever way you want to do it, right? And then you just can carry on with your wrapping. So press that down, some veggies. This time I'm going to put basil in. As I said, I've put mint in, and I really liked the mint in there as well. Okay, so we'll put some fresh basil from my friend Kathy. Okay, and some noodles. There we go. And over, one side, other side, and roll tight. And I'm right now just cooking some shrimp, because I'm going to show you too, You can put shrimp also in your Asian wraps. Another lovely thing is some pulled pork or some marinated stir-fried beef or anything you like to add. The one I showed you first was vegetarian. Now I'm going to show you some of these. Okay, so these we'll just let them sit for a minute. And then we're going to go back to doing wraps. This one, I think I might have left it in too long. We're not going to use this one. Okay. So, we're going to do a few with the shrimp now. So, and the water's cooled off a bit. My recommendation is to always keep it, like I say, warm, hot. Not hot that you can't put your fingers in, as you see that I'm putting my hands in. Okay, but it just makes them break down a little easier, the rice wrap, and then for later as well. So this one, I'll take a piece of that off there. We're going to, same thing, we're going to build our bundle with our veggies, right? And then we're going to add our noodles and our shrimp. And some, there we go, some cilantro in there, some noodles. And then we're going to put some beautiful shrimp in there. Oh, one thing about the shrimp, I have to remember because there was tails on these ones. We don't want that inside of our wrap. So I just take a knife and cut the tail off. Simple as that. And I would recommend putting in a few in here. So there we've got. Beautiful. Fold it over. One side, the other. Roll nicely. And there we go. I'll put this one here. We'll do one more just to show you one more, and then you're on your own. And like I said, we've got some beautiful sauces ready to go with it. We've got a nice sweet chili, and then we've got my peanut sauce, Chef Laurie's famous peanut sauce. You can order it from me any old time you like. And many other things off my website. Yes, it's under Chef Laurie's website. Please feel free to check it out. If you or facts, not facts. I don't know where facts came from. That's really dating myself. Email me. I'd love to answer any questions or inquiries you might have. So, like I said, we're going to take some vegetables here, and we're gonna make our little bundle, and then place that on our romaine leaf. I'm going to put some parsley in this one, because that's another thing that's nice to use is some parsley. We use cilantro, basil, parsley. I'm taking the tails off the prawns, some noodles, and we're set. Beautiful. Another little tip, don't leave your wraps sitting too long because they'll stick to everything like glue. And you don't want that. And we're done. Hi there, we're back, and I just wanted to show you this tray. I had started earlier before we went on with you, and I cut some, like I said, my pickled asparagus and some dill pickles and some olives and a couple different types of cheese, some crackers, some nice garlic sausage, and some beautiful skewers with fresh basil and cherry tomatoes and feta cheese. And here, I'm going to do some of each. We've got some that are chilled, that are the crab pinwheels, and I'm going to bake some. So when you bake them, you just cut them, and then you lay them, I just put them a little spray of Pam or whatever, and then I put them on here and bake them in the oven until the cheese melts. So it's nice to have it both ways. Some people prefer the cheese melted, others don't. It's almost like a little bit like a cheese ball inside of a wrap. So it's really lovely, like I said, and look at all the lovely colors there. It's just really, and lots of taste and flavor. Because when you chill it down and let it meld all the flavors together, a lot more to it. So now I'm going to pop these ones in the oven and let them bake. So once again, I thank you so very much for joining us today. As I said, please do check my website. It's been a pleasure to share with you some different ideas, and please do stay safe, be healthy, and have fun. Bye for now. Chef Laurie signing off.